Teen Girl Book, Diary of a Green Monster Girl, Adventure Stories for Kids. Written by Jeff Child. Narrated by John H. Feskins. Introduction. Crystal is a green monster girl. She wears a green hoodie and a green jacket, and she knows everything about those monsters. In school, this 12-year-old teenage girl gets rejected by 3 different boys, which makes her cautious. But when she runs away and an army of exploding monsters is about to attack their peaceful homes, she may be the village's only hope. This short story about a girl is a jewel you cannot miss. Chapter 1. Rejected. It is no secret that a lot of the girls in my class don't like me. I mean, they gossip about everything. They hate my green jacket, my skirt, and especially my hoodie. Well, they're not so perfect either, but let's not go into that. I maintain my own style, if you will, something I have always been proud of. I am Crystal, and I am 12 years old. Do you know how kids are to each other at that age? They're mean. It's because they are trying to become more popular, and one of the best ways, they think, is by putting someone else down. I never wanted to participate in that silly game. I just kind of did my own thing. That's not to say that I was normal. Other girls don't wear hoodies. They didn't wear green. In fact, a lot of them wore pinks and purples just to appear more feminine. Not me. I was a green girl, and let me tell you why. You probably already saw it coming. I love green monsters. That's the reason. Ha! How can anyone love them, right? They're disgusting, filthy, and, well, creepy. But I guess I saw something in these elegant creatures that nobody else did. I drew green monsters, I talked about them, I read books about them, and I was amazed at the way they could run fast and explode out of the blue. Their suicidal tendencies were puzzling to me, but perhaps they just had those because they weren't too clever in the first place. It was just their nature. Our village mainly consisted of farmers. Some of them were smart, others were plain stupid in my eyes. Anyway, just because they are farmers doesn't mean that some of them are incredibly handsome. That was one of my weaknesses. My dad was always gone, and I guess I was looking for that male role model in my life, so I drew closer to the guys in school, which weren't always mature enough, I have to admit. But every once in a while, I would have a crush on one of them and obsess over a particular guy. The first one was named Niels. His personality? Well, from observing him, I knew he liked to play sports, soccer in particular. He also smelled great when he came out of the locker room. Yes, that was me being creepy by shadowing him. And he hung out with some of the popular guys. Was he out of my league? I didn't know. I didn't sense those things very well, so I knew there was only one way to find out. I had to just go for it. But my plan had to be flawless. I didn't want to embarrass myself in front of my peers, and being turned down was something that would have such an effect. The first time, I didn't get it. I didn't understand boys, and between you and me, I don't think they understand themselves at that age either. I was too forward. I was too eager. I should have been subtler. So one day, I just walked up towards Niels in the hallway when he was standing next to the lockers with his friends, and I said, "I like you. Will you be my boyfriend?" Wrong move. Girls don't ever do this. You have to build it up first, which was a major mistake I made. All he did was stop talking to his macho friends, whom I didn't particularly like, by the way. Then he looked at me and asked, "Who are you again?" "I am Crystal," I said from underneath my hoodie and shaking with fear. "Crystal? Well, Crystal, I don't know anything about you. And since you're hiding your face, you must not be that pretty. Besides, I already like someone else. So thanks for the offer, but the answer is no." "Oh, okay," I said shyly, and then I walked away. Some girls in the same hallway giggled. Now they had another thing to gossip about. Great. And the next day, after crying for the entire evening, I saw a lot of kids looking at me. Some of them chuckled, and others were just staring. What a stupid decision I had made. Chapter 2. Rejected Again. The next crush was 3 months later. I hadn't noticed Zach before since he went to a different class. I had locked my heart for a while and thrown away the key, but when I saw him, I couldn't get over how much I was attracted to him. His wavy blonde hair matched his oversized shirt and his blue eyes perfectly. He was a stud. I wanted him to be my boyfriend so we could kiss and hold hands and, well, you know the rest. However, this time I was prepared. I wouldn't make the same mistake again. I would wrap him around my finger. I went to the bathroom and got ready. I put my best makeup on, I loosened my hair, and even though redheads weren't popular in school, I knew I could make myself pretty if I did my best. And this time I would get rid of the green monster jacket. I put on a pink tank top and a red skirt. Lipstick, eyeshadow, and some big round earrings would finish the job. I put on some fancy boots I had bought with my allowance money, and I went for it. I was subtle this time. All I did was walk by him, smile, and say, "Hi, Zach." He waved back, a little confused, but still flattered. That same afternoon, I sat a little closer to him during lunch break and tried to start a conversation. "I've noticed you," I said. "You are in a different class, but I see you in the hallway every once in a while." "I saw you this morning," he said. "What's your name?" "Crystal." "Good to meet you, Crystal. How old are you?" "I am 12, I said. "You?" "I am 16. Well, nice to talk to you, but I have to go." And that's when I became a little scared. How else was I going to approach him? I didn't know what to do, so when he stood up, I said, "Wait, do you think you and I can go study at the library sometime? You know, together? To understand our homework better?" He thought for a moment and then said, "Look, Crystal, I appreciate your friendliness, but the things I study are way more complicated than what I got at your age. I don't think you would be much help to me." He was about to walk away, so I made another desperate attempt, but I wasn't watching myself, so I said, "I love you." Oh no, did I just say that? Did those words come out of my mouth? No. He was going to think I was crazy. Why couldn't I control my words? Bad, Crystal, bad. What now? "You're a sweet girl, Crystal," he said, "but I usually don't date girls around your age. No offense. Good luck with your homework, though." No, I got rejected again. And the worst of it all was that I couldn't even hate him for it. He was a nice guy. He wasn't even rude to me. Ugh, another embarrassment. Luckily, nobody saw it that time, and Zach was so nice that he didn't even tell anyone about it. So he saved me the pain of becoming the school's gossip topic for the next few days. Thanks, Zach, but then again, thanks for nothing. Another broken heart. I went home that night and didn't tell my parents. It was none of their business. I was devastated, but I didn't cry as much as the first time. Luckily, I had become stronger. Chapter 3. Rejected Once More. Because of the previous rejections, I became even more careful in my approach. Actually, I wasn't trying too hard anymore. I just let it happen. Of course it didn't, because what boy would be attracted to a girl in a green monster outfit with a hoodie? One day, however, I was sitting at a bench during lunch break. I was eating my peanut butter sandwich and drinking from a bottle of water. "I like your hoodie," someone said. I looked up. "Huh?" "Your hoodie. I like it," the boy standing next to me said. He wasn't as masculine and buff as my previous crushes, and he was wearing glasses. In fact, he looked like a wimp, but at least I was going to be polite. "Thank you," I said. "Most people don't. Why do you like it?" "I don't know," he said. "Perhaps it reminds me of green monsters, the second most wanted monsters on the planet, the only ones that can explode and have the willpower to sacrifice their own lives when they need to." I couldn't believe my ears. A boy who liked those monsters as well. "Fascinating creatures, aren't they?" I confirmed. Indeed they are. I was reading about them yesterday, and I couldn't help but think that they are the most sophisticated creatures on Earth. Really? I see it the same way. That's why I wear this jacket. Can you take off your hoodie? He asked. Why? I just want to see your hair better. You have a cute face. Sure, I said, although I wasn't certain about it. My self-esteem was low at that moment. Besides, I didn't want to be vulnerable. I doubted, but I did it because he asked so nicely. Oh, you have red hair, he said. Apparently, he hadn't seen my hair before. I didn't like his reaction. I was offended. Did he not like my red hair? Was this Marco character another one of those boys who was only looking for blondes? Fine. If he didn't want me just because of my hair color, then that was it. The other guys didn't like me either. I wasn't going to try again. Love stinks. After all these thoughts, in a few seconds, I put my hoodie back on, got my lunch, and began to walk away. Wait, he said. Why are you leaving? Was it something I said? I didn't respond. I had had it. I was so done with this teenage relationship drama thing. Maybe I would try again at the age of 18 or 25. Or better yet, maybe I would just choose to stay single. There! I went back to class and tried to pay attention to the teacher's lessons, but it was too hard. I felt rejected again. I didn't want anything to do with boys ever again. Chapter 4. Enough. I was really upset that afternoon. I went home and hid my face underneath my hoodie as much as possible. I didn't want to talk to anyone, especially not Marco. What an insult! He hated my red hair, like everyone else. Well, I wasn't going to dye it. Take it or leave it, stupid boys. I came home and greeted my mom. Then I went straight to my room. As I was packing a few things and filling up my backpack with treats, a blanket, and my toothbrush, my mom came to my room and asked me what was wrong. I am leaving, I said. I've had it with this town. Please stay, my mom said. You can't just leave like that. We care about you. What is going on? Sit down and explain to me why you're so upset. No, let me go, I said. Crystal, please, just breathe and take a minute. She grabbed me by my shoulders and looked into my eyes. I gave in. I sat down on my bed and sobbed. Nobody likes me. That's not true, my mother said. I like you and your dad likes you. I'm pretty sure there are kids at school who like you as well. The girls hate me, they gossip about me, and the boys, well, every time I have a crush on someone, I get rejected. Ah, boy problems, huh? My mother said. I remember having those. It was easy for you, Mom, I said. You have blonde hair, but because Dad has red hair, I inherited red hair. It's not fair. Ha! You're a poet and you don't know it, my mom said. I looked at her in a mean way. Sorry. Please continue, she said. Well, today it happened again, I went on. There is this boy who was a little interested in me, and as soon as I took off my hoodie, he said that he hated my red hair. He really said that? Literally? It was implied, I said. But who cares? I don't want to go to school anymore. You're in luck, kiddo. It's weekend, so tomorrow you can stay home or go into town with me. Wouldn't that be fun? Sorry, Mom, but I am too old to go market shopping with my mother. The other kids will laugh at me if I do that. Okay, suit yourself, she said. Just know I am always here for you if you need me. Then she walked out of the room. I thought about what she said, but I was a stubborn girl. 3 rejections were enough for me to know that I wasn't wanted. Besides, I wanted to get out of the village anyway. Therefore, I kept the things in my backpack and waited until the evening. When the night came, I snuck out. I tiptoed through the village streets and went into the forest. It was dark and creepy, but I loved the adventurous taste I was having. As I kept walking through the woods, I saw all the owls, the rats, and some other wild animals there. It was as if they wouldn't show themselves in the daytime, and as if they liked my guts right there and then. I kept walking for a few hours and reached a cave at the foot of the mountain. I checked for predators, but there were none. "This looks like a comfortable spot," I said. I pulled the blanket out of my backpack and lay down. The fresh air and the darkness of the night were excellent for an open-air sleepover. "I don't care if they look for me or not," I said to myself. "I am staying right here. Tomorrow, maybe I'll pick some berries to eat." Chapter 5. The Chase. This is Marco. Crystal allowed me to write this one chapter in her diary so it would make more sense, and to explain what happened a little better. In other words, to fill in the blanks of what happened in between her previous notes and the next ones. When I talked to her at school, she seemed distraught over my comment about her hair. But I wasn't even done talking yet. I loved her hair. I had always been fond of red hair. It was a secret I had never revealed to anyone, so yes, when she took off her hoodie, I said, "Oh, you have red hair." And as excited as I was, I tried to constrain myself, and maybe that sent the wrong message. But this diary entry is about the next day, Saturday. I was up early. Something told me that Crystal was in trouble. A sixth sense, maybe? Or something else. I didn't know what it was, but I went to her home. By the way, since this village is small enough that almost everybody knows everybody, it didn't take me long to find out where she lived. I knocked on the door. I waited. After some time, her mother opened up. "Yes," she said. "Is Crystal here?" I asked. "No, she is not. She has run away from home. We are worried. I have been looking all over town, and I'm just waiting here for the police to arrive." "Okay, I know enough," I said. She ran away from home? Where could she have gone? And at that moment I became determined to find her. But soon after that I would have another motive. "Alarm!" a messenger yelled as he ran around in the quiet streets of our little farmer's town. "We're being attacked!" At that moment, a police officer came around the corner and stopped him. "Whoa, wait a minute, young man. Who is being attacked? Who is attacking us?" Green monsters," the man said while panting. "There is a whole army of them on the other side of the hill, probably hundreds. I just came back from that area. There is no way we can stand up to them." I was a little confused. Here I was, after coming back from Crystal's home, and suddenly a police officer and a messenger were telling each other that the entire village was in danger. What was I going to do? "What are we going to do?" the police officer asked. "I don't know," the young man said. "I am just here to deliver the message. I am taking my family out of here. If those monsters blow up my home, then at least we won't be in it." I got distracted by my own thoughts. Now it wasn't just a matter of finding Crystal and asking her to come back. I needed to warn her. But where could she be? Funny enough, a lot of villagers had mentioned the mountain cave. It was the first place that came up in my mind. Where else would she be able to find shelter? Besides, it rained sometimes in our green, moist climate, so I was certain that I had a good chance of finding her there. And off I went, hoping to bump into her. Chapter 6. Only Me. This is Crystal again, just continuing my diary. I woke up by the sound of birds chirping. The woods were an excellent place to find some peace and quiet. I stretched, looked around me, and bent over. One of the worries about my parents got shoved aside, and I watched the sun rays through the trees. It was beautiful in this nature area. I scavenged for berries and came across a big raspberry bush. "Jackpot," I said. "This is what I wanted for breakfast. Perhaps I should come back here with my parents sometime and pick all the ones that are left after I eat these." Saying that, I realized that I should go home again. There was no point in staying upset, and my parents hadn't done anything wrong. It was just my own emotions getting in my way. Life is strange. Anyway, after exploring the forest a bit more, I suddenly heard someone yell my name. "Crystal! Crystal!" Who could that be? I ran towards the sound and was surprised to see the same geeky kid that I liked the day before. "Marco," I said, "what are you doing here?" "I could ask you the same question, but I'll go first. I came here to look for you." "I ran away. I was upset." "Why?" "It's none of your business," I said. I didn't want to open up. "Is it because I said something about your hair? I never said I hated it." Wow, this Marco kid was a little nerdy, but he was empathetic, and he knew what I was thinking. Score! I liked him again. "I love red hair," he said. "In fact, I was always looking for a girl with red hair." "Really?" "Really." "Then let's go home together." I was pretty sure that from that time on we were boyfriend and girlfriend, because he grabbed my hand and held it all the way through the forest. "There is something else," he said. "The village is in commotion. Everybody is afraid. A big army of explosive monsters is coming our way, and I don't know what to do about it. Have you ever read about how to stop them?" "Are you kidding? I know all about them," I said. "And I doubt that anyone else knows about these little secrets. Trust me, Marco, I am a true green monster girl. I have met some monsters before, and I know exactly what to do." "Cool. I knew you had it in you," he said. "You're amazing." I blushed and said, "Let's go before it's too late." Chapter 7. Commanding an Army. The two of us ran towards the village. It was unfortunate, but we had to let go of each other's hands to do so. I thought it was funny that I ran faster than Marco, and that I got home before he did. "Are we going to your house or my house?" he asked. "Mine, of course," I said. "Oh, okay." I didn't knock when we arrived. I stormed in and looked for my parents. "Mom!" I shouted. "Crystal?" I heard from upstairs. "Crystal, is that you?" "Yes, Mom, I'm home. I'm sorry I left, but I'm okay." "I am so glad you're back," my mom said as she came downstairs and gave me a hug. "We were worried sick about you." "I'm okay, Mom. You can let go now. Did you hear about the green monsters?" "Yes, I did. We have to leave as soon as possible." "No, Mom, we don't," I said. "What is this? Why won't you come?" "I can solve it. I can make the monsters disappear." "Look, Crystal, I know you like green monsters and that you wear that jacket all the time, but just because you like certain predators doesn't mean they won't eat you." "What are you talking about, Mom? Those monsters don't eat us." "Yeah, they explode in our faces," Marco added. "Marco, you're not helping," I said. "What I'm trying to say is that I know how to deal with them. Just let me be. Trust me on this." My mother looked at me with a serious face, questioning my expertise in this area, since she had never seen me interact with green monsters before. "Fine," she finally said. "Go and do your thing. Just don't get yourself hurt." "I won't. Thank you, Mom," I said as I ran out the door, followed by Marco. We ran towards the other side of the hill and saw what the messenger had been talking about. There were monsters everywhere, and they were headed towards the village. "There are so many of them," Marco said. "What are you going to do?" "Just watch me," I said. "Stay here." I slid down the hill and snuck up to the monsters. Then I put 2 fingers in my mouth and whistled as loud and high as I could, but not just like that, with a certain tune to it. The green monsters recognized it and turned around. Slowly but certainly, they were walking towards me. "Don't show them you're scared," I thought. "Don't show any signs of fear. It will be okay." I whistled again. The monsters were really close now. That's the moment I waved my arms in the air and hopped on one foot. I am sure it looked ridiculous from a distance, and Marco was probably laughing at me when he saw me do that, but I knew that this would work. There is a certain way to communicate to green monsters, and this was the method I had read about. After some more hopping, I stopped and said, "You will follow me. Follow me now." The monsters stopped moving towards me and patiently awaited my next move. I maneuvered my way through them and signaled for them to come. What happened next was the most remarkable display any boy Marco's age had ever witnessed. The green monsters were lining up and were following me into the opposite direction of the village. For miles and miles they stayed in line. Marco was following us at a distance, and like an army commander, I marched away from our hometown and led the monsters to a distant valley. 2 hours later, I ordered them to stop. I yelled that they should rest there, and they were scattered across the valley within minutes. That's when I left them. I climbed up the hill and joined Marco, who was overlooking the valley and looking at me with big eyes. "Wow," he said. "I mean, I trusted you, but I didn't know you could do that." "Quite impressive, isn't it?" I said, feeling flattered. "Yes. You know so much about green monsters. It's awesome." "Thanks," I said, and I kissed him on the cheek. Crystal," he began, "could you take off your hoodie one more time and then kiss me? I want to see your pretty red hair." This charming boy knew the way to my heart. I took off the hoodie and kissed him on the other cheek. After that, we went back to the village to tell everyone the wonderful news. This was the greatest day of my life. The end. This has been Teen Girl Book, Diary of a Green Monster Girl, Adventure Stories for Kids, written by Jeff Child, narrated by John H. Feskins. Copyright 2017 by Jeff Child. Production copyright 2017 by Jeff Child.